LaBelle, everyone!
Hello, world. I am your host, LaBelle of the L4 Podcast. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? You know what's going on? I think you know what I'm going to say because I've said it once and I'm going to say it again. It's hot outside. It's freaking hot, guys. And we're all just trying to stay cool with this freaking humidity. It's not the temperature. The temperature could be pretty hot, like 100 degree, 110, whatevs. If it's dry heat, I think we can make it through, but it's the humidity. The humidity feels like 100%, and I know it's not, but it's pretty dang high in Georgia. And then you can't get cool. You know, your body's trying to sweat it out. And when you sweat it out, it's supposed to that sweat's supposed to evaporate and make your body cool. But it cannot evaporate in this humidity. When all you're doing is you're just walking through water molecules all day, staying hot, man. You're frying your brain up. So a lot of people staying inside and trying to stay in a cave to stay cool, to conserve energy. You might be, because you're going to be using a lot of energy, your internal temperature, your internal core trying to get cool. You know, so we stay inside trying to conserve energy. And we're just all trying to not crash out live in this heat. That's what I'm saying. I got the cold coffee and, 137 trimethylxanthine, full caffeinated. And I'm just here to pick you up from any kind of summertime blues that you may be experiencing. Turn that frown upside down. We want to get that downward mouth turned up. That's what we want to do around here. So what went on? What's happening? My husband and I, we watched Masters of the Universe, and that was super fun. That's He-Man. You know, that's Skeletor. And Skeletor has that laugh. It's the unhinged jaw. It's the pirate laugh. You know, the jaw is unhinged. And I wanted it to be more pronounced. I wanted it to be more absurd. Like, I wanted the jaw to be so unhinged on Skeletor that it went, like, it touched the chest. But, I mean, they did an okay job of it. But the movie itself was great. It was fantastic. It was very entertaining and very funny. And I've said it once. I'll say it again. I think whoever made that movie was on acid. Yes, but it's very entertaining. I think more people need to be on acid. That's all I'm saying. You know, you make a really great piece of art, a piece of work, entertaining piece on acid, then, the people walking around there, they're miserable mumps. They're bumps on a log. They're unproductive, gutter snipes. And people say, oh, they just need to get laid. They need coitus. That's what they say on the street. Dude, they just need coitus. That's the first go-to that people do when people are miserable Muppets. But I think what really needs to happen is they just have to have a good bowel movement and maybe drop some acid after that and things will be fine. You know, get your breathing nice and peaceful and get your, start doing a little massage on the stomach and get the things moving, have a good, nice bowel movement. And then you're feeling great. You know, your pants fit a little bit better. You're walking around, you feel lighter in the world, and you drop some acid, and then He-Man's made. And I can't think of any better scenario than that. So maybe we just need to do a little more bit of that in the universe. A little bit more of that in the world. Having some good bowel movements, dropping some acid. That's what I'm saying. So what else is happening, guys? I'm about to get my my hairs cut because when what happens is when I get dressed in the morning and then my hair starts getting tucked into my pants too long. And also it has a mind of its own at this point. When it grew past a certain length, it actually grew its own neural net and it just whispers nothing, like sweet nothings into my ears all day. And that's why I'm delusional. So I just got to get this under control. And I'll get it under control. My friend C, she sent me a tutorial on how to cut my hair at home. And she does a really great job of it. I tried to do, I went to go try to do it, and I chickened out, but I think I'm going to try it again. And we'll see. I'll keep you posted on that. Maybe I'll take a video. That should be entertaining. Have a good bowel movement, drop some acid, cut my hairs. Let's go, let's go. So I just feel really fortunate to be in this group of friends. We all met each other in improv, and it brought us all together, and everyone's just super supportive. And I feel fortunate because it's hard to find friends after a certain stage of life. Like, after you've gone to, you went to high school, college, and then maybe in your first early days of career, you'll make some friends through that. But then that's basically it. And then you go out throughout life, you get married, you have kids, and if you move around and you're moving away from all your longtime friends, like it's kind of difficult. So I would just encourage anyone who moved to a new state to go ahead and get into a group. You know, I got into improv in this comedy community where I found some really great friends. And I used to be in running groups when I lived in Florida, and you can be in a running group. I know there's all kinds of groups out there, man. There's this butterfly conservatory around where I live, and I know they're everywhere. People trying to save the monarch butterflies, and I bet you there's some pretty interesting people there. So I would encourage you to join that group, join up, link up, buttercup, and that might help out a little bit. Go get yourself a dog, rescue a dog, and give all your love to it. And those things will be your best friends forever, for their entire little lives. And, also, like, I was just thinking about the rest of the summer, and there's not much left. I mean, people go back to school here next week. It's wild. It's wild. That's it. That's all the summer they got, even though it's still freaking hot out. God, I walk outside, I feel like an ionized molecule zipping around. Zinc bank bop. Crash out live. Gosh, let's keep from doing that. That's what I'm saying. Oh, I'm going for my mouse here. If you're watching this, I just went for my mouse. I don't got my mouse. My husband had to borrow my mouse, so I'm going to use the one on the pad. And so just bear with me. We'll get through it. Let's get some 137 trimethylxanthine while we listen to. So we're going to go to Paris, guys. We're going to go to Paris. Boom, 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 boom. Here we go. Yeah. We're gonna go over to the Ile de la Cité. Get some beignets. We'll be driving over on the Pont Neuf. Christo, he rapped the Pont Neuf in the 80s. I think he's still there rapping that Bichon. Anyone know what I'm talking about? Look it up. That's so fun. Oh, that's so fun. Ooh, you know what? I want to play an instrument like that. That's amazing. I wonder if in the future, guys, I wonder if we'll be able to download, I want to play the ukulele, and we could just boink it into our brains with a Neuralink. And then it just sends it just sends electrical signals to the areas of the brain that need to move your hands to play the instrument. I think that's going to happen in 100 years, maybe 200 years, but it's definitely going to happen. And then we'd be playing ding, 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 ding. I knew in my improv class in Atlanta, there was a professional celloist. And that's pretty interesting. And I think that after your name, when you have to say your pronouns after your name, I think you should put something like that instead. Celloist. Now that is interesting. Your pronouns are not interesting to me and anybody else. And I'm not apologetic about that. There's nothing interesting about it. I'm not going to call you by your pronoun. If you say you're a they, I'm not going to be like, they, listen up. I'm going to call you by your name. If you want to go by that, that's what I call you, and I respect you like a human being. We're all human beings, and everyone gets equally human being respected. That's what I'm saying. Don't care about your pronouns. That's not interesting to me. And you know what's interesting? If you have your name and then an interesting thing about you, like celloist, or an accomplishment, your name and then mother. You grew a baby and then you birthed the Bichon. Holy smokes. Mothers are underrated in the way of they're the ones who create the human beings that keep this economy going. If there were no human beings, there'd be no economy for you. So there. That's a huge accomplishment. It's a lot of things wrapped up in there. How about your name and then dog rescuer, cat rescuer, parrot rescuer? Your name and then I save the butterflies. You know, your name and whatever. I like bridges. I like architecture. So something interesting. Your name and then my biological age is 10 years younger than what I am. Now that is hard to do. That's what I'm saying. I want to see something interesting that maybe could be a conversation starter. That's what I'm saying. I want to start seeing that on LinkedIn. And then whenever you have to go to a group and say your name and your pronoun, I'm going to start saying my name and then something interesting after it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm turning it around. It's time to turn this ship around. Get it going in another direction, a more interesting direction. That's what I'm saying. Oh, what? See, I went for the mouse again. What is that? Like is that Pavlovian? Did I hear something and then I went to go for the mouse? Good God. Good God. What else is going on? Yeah, so, well, again, not much left in the summer. So this week, I hope you have a good week. This last week that you have left in the summer before your kids have to go back to school. What will we be doing? My husband will be in the driveway he likes doing things in the driveway. He likes washing cars. He likes tinkering around. He'll do the yard, you know. So my friend said, I was explaining to my friend, like, oh, my husband likes doing this stuff outside. And she said, oh, he's a driveway husband. And I said, yes. He is that. So my husband will be a driveway husbanding for the last parts of this summer. That's what will be going on. And I'll be here with you guys. I'm here with you guys. I love this, and I'm also preparing for a comedy contest. And guys, I was hoping to get on the mic tonight. I didn't make the list, didn't make the cut. So I'm not going to be able to practice the material tonight. And I was hoping to get on a mic next week before the show, but I haven't heard anything back. So this is what we're going to do, guys. We're just going to, what? I'm going to cry about it? Huh? What, I'm going to sit here and cry about it? No, I just keep practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing until I know that thing. For just closing my eyes, not reading anything, I can do it anywhere. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just working with with what I got, man. With what I have, the tools I have right now, what I can control right now. That's what I'm doing. And really, what I'm doing is I'm doing the thing that NASA's doing, where they sent a few people to the moon. Not a lot. There's not a lot of reps up there. We had all the Apollo missions, and some of them went to the moon. And then I think after Apollo 17, that was it. We were done having people walk around. And now we're going to go ahead and build a moon base, put a bunch of humans up there. And we're like, but we didn't get a lot of reps. It's like, I don't care. I'm building a moon base. And that's how we're going to go. This is what we're doing. This is the way we're doing it. And it's going to be good. That's what I'm doing with this comedy with contest. I didn't get a lot of reps, but I'm going to build a base. That's what we're doing. So I'm just hoping to this is the preliminary rounds. I'm hoping to get to the second round. So fingers crossed for me, guys. If you could send me some good vibes and ask the universe to show me some positive behavior that night. That'd be great. Thank you. I appreciate all you guys, every single one of you. And so what else is going on here? We got some bot badges. That's what's going on. We have, let's see. Brett Adcock over at Figure. Now, Brett Adcock, he is, what's that last name? Saskatchewanian. He's the CEO of Figure. He's from Illinois, I think. He used to wear those cowboy boots, but now he wears those Kenneth Cole Tech Steaks. And he's running with his robots. So that's what we're doing. He posted this. Figure robots now have visitor passes. They have full access to every door on campus. Soon there will be hundreds of them walking around campus just coming and going. And then there's a picture of the badges. And we have the humanoids. We got the ones with the white skins. It's Visitor Bot White. The ones with the black skins, Visitor Bot Black. And yeah, I'm wondering, like, when I go to visit, am I going to get a badge that says Visitor Human White? Is this like, this is the logistics of it? I think this is the order of it. And that just to keep everything kind of like, you know, just like said exactly what it is, you know? And that, yeah, that'll be great. I can't wait to go visit and see all the bots walking around. They had a gold one walking around with his walking around shoes. And I feel like the gold is reminiscent of 3CPO. And I want to see that one in person. I want to see 3CPO in person. And they were celebrating something. I wonder what happened to that gold skin. Make some gold bots, man. Baller bot. That's what that is. That's a baller bot. With that NVIDIA chip in it. That's what's going on. That's like the highest, you know, bots. It's like highest bot status right there. That baller bot gold skin. So what else is happening here? We got some footage from Mars. This is interesting. It's just like a little eerie because of the sound that it makes. Here we go. Oh. And geez, it's kind of like a cloudy, weird, yellow, reddish hue going on. Sound on Mars is different than on Earth due to the planet's thin carbon dioxide-rich atmosphere, which causes sounds to be quieter, slower, and more muffled, with lower frequencies being more prominent. I think, good God, I think that's where Voldemort lives. That is a godforsaken place right there. I think that's some, that's some Skeletor behavior. Skeletor vibe. I think Skeletor just peeked out. He's lurking around in the background right there, doing his jaw thing. In Masters of the Universe, it was hilarious because I'm going to turn this eerie sound off, but Masters of the Universe was hilarious because at the end they were all standing around and then everyone was laughing and they put their hands on their hips and they pushed their hips forward and they went backwards. They're like, ha, 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 ha. And that was a very prominent feature in the cartoon. And it was fantastic. I just like, ho, 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 ho. It's like not a normal, as I go, my chin goes right into the microphone. But that was, I just love when they just pop those little funny things in there that we all remember from the cartoons. I didn't watch a lot. I think my brother watched it more than me. It was kind of before my time. But I do remember little bits and pieces of it. And Skeletor always amused me. And the green tiger was cool too. Okay, what else we got going on? We have a teeny tiny moon doing a ripple. And we're talking about Saturn's Daphnes. Daphnes is a tiny moon of Saturn. It's only about 8 kilometers, which let me look and do the conversion of the kilometers. That's 26, basically like 26,000 feet. Because we got, we do the imperial system in America. All right, this is America. We do the imperial system in America. Jimmy Carter, he tried bringing the metric system to America, and then we just voted him out of office. So this is where we're at. It wasn't my decision. I didn't vote. I was like too young to vote for Jimmy Carter. I don't even know what year that was. I don't think I was even alive, guys. What do you want me to say? Don't be putting that blame on me. I'm just going with it. I'm just rolling with it. Don't you put that evil on me. All right, I'm just rolling with it. That's what's going on. So we have a little moon. It's about 26,000 feet. wide, but it plays a dramatic role in shaping Saturn's rings. It orbits within the Keeler Gap, a narrow 42 kilometer wide gap. And that would be, what's 42 kilometers is about 26 miles. All right. So we have a 26-mile gap. Inside the A-ring. Okay, as it moves, its gravity pulls on the ring particles at the gap's edges, sculpting distinctive ripples and waves that can rise as high as 1.5 kilometers. I think that's like 4,000 feet, basically, above the ring plane. Whoa! These patterns shift with Daphne's orbit, making the moon look like a cosmic artist carving waves in ice. This is a really cool image. Cassini captured some of the most striking close-ups of Daphne's before plunging into Saturn in 2017, showing its crisp edges and the sculpted ring material trailing behind it. And let me tell you, this teeny tiny little moon making all these like 4,000-foot ripples. Good God, that is wild. That's you know what that is? That's Napoleon energy right there. I think when Napoleon was defeated at the Battle of Waterloo, he went into this Daphne's. He's like, I think I know where my spirit gonna go. It's gonna go into Daphne's. It's this tiny little thing making this big ass ripple. It's like, you're going to know I'm here. You're going to not know I'm here. And then also Caligula was like, well, I was here before you, Napoleon. Napoleon's like, move over, Caligula. I got Napoleon complex. And it's bigger than you, Caligula. It's bigger than you. So now Caligula and Napoleon, their spirit lives in Daphne's. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Because Daphne's probably existed when they were alive. And we don't know any of that, but that's just what I'm conjuring up with the information I have. You know, a little juxtaposition. I am going for my mouse. I am looking for my mouse because I usually have a mouse to move my screen. But okay, it's okay. We're gonna do it. I got this. I got the pad today. Good Lord, that's like so robotic to go for my mouse. All right, I'm using the pad. We're going to get through this. We're getting through it. We're good. We're getting through it. Astrolab is sending a rover to the moon. Okay, this is interesting. Let's get on with this. Hopefully my computer will, hopefully this doesn't crash out live. Come on, buddy.
Astrolab is preparing to send its Flex lunar rover to the moon aboard a SpaceX cargo Starship. The rover is roughly the size of an SUV and is built to carry 2 astronauts across the lunar surface. When astronauts are not on board, it can be driven remotely from Earth, and when they are present, they can operate it directly. Flex is designed specifically to work with Starship and will support future crews as they explore and navigate the lunar South Pole.
All right, cool. So it's a rover that human beings will go in. Astronauts, they'll be taking a stroll around Mars. And of course, we're going to need to be near the water ice because like Jared Isaacman said, is it Isaacman, the dude in charge of NASA now? If we're not near the ice, then what the frick would we be doing there? So we have to be near the ice. And Jared was just on a really awesome interview with, it's a podcast called Moonshots. And he was saying, there's no guarantee that, going to the moon, people are like, we have to go to the moon to go and extract some materials for Earth. And Jared's like, that's not a guarantee, man. But, we should try to do it. And, but he's not like riding on this whole, we got to do it because there's materials up there. So I really like that he didn't take that aspect of it because there's some people who are really gung ho about that's what we got to do. And then there's other people who are like, why are we spending money to even go up there? And, I understand that point of it too. But of course I am all about space exploration. I think space exploration allows technologies to exist, to be created, to be engineered that can help humanity and people on Earth, like air conditioning. Air conditioning. Did you know air conditioning? That was actually created by NASA. So I'm pretty sure it was NASA. I'm going for my my mouse again, guys. So just bear with me. I'm just gonna pet the surface here. Let's pretend I didn't go for the mouse and move on. Good God. All right. Sometimes it's good to switch it up for your brain. You know, you got to switch it up. But anyway, so this rover to the moon, it looks a little over engineered to me. It has a lot of like moving parts and hydraulics, it looked like. And I was thinking like, we need to like make maybe a hovercraft. Now, obviously not a hovercraft because you need air for those, but you have to have a continuous downward but rocket thrusters. Right? Can't we just do rocket thrusters? But that's not efficient. So we got to go with the mechanical wheels. Powered by solar charged electric batteries remain the most energy efficient way to travel over long distances. So that's what we're doing. And, if they have a problem like a wheel falls off, and by the way, their wheels are designed. So traditional rigid axles get hung up on boulders or stuck in deep craters. By giving every limb independent height control, the flex is flexible logistics and exploration. The flex can keep its main body completely level while crawling over jagged, uneven ground. Hyper deformable airless wheels. Normal air-filled rubber tires would instantly poop or freeze and shatter in the moon's extreme temperatures. We're talking negative 240 degrees Celsius, and that is negative 400 degrees Fahrenheit, because we're in the imperial system, to plus 266 degrees Fahrenheit. The wheels use 192 spring cables and flexible metallic treads that act as their own built-in shock absorbers to cushion the ride. So there's no popping of a tire up there. But it does have many moving joints. So it has extra leg joints and individual wheel assemblies, so that it's not just a car, it's a forklift also. So the Flex, which is the flexible logistics and exploration, is designed to carry heavy cargo boxes and equipment directly underneath its belly. So that's why it looks like that. And let's see. There is a issue with lunar dust. So like getting into the joints, like obviously you can't just take a car on Earth and stick it up on the moon because it will just get destroyed in a lot of different ways. But one of those ways is the lunar dust. The regolith is basically ground glass, sharp, microscopic, and electrostatically charged. So it sticks to everything. You like putting a shirt on in the winter and like your hair's sticking to it, things are sticking to it because there's no wind or water on the moon to smooth the edges out. Standard rubber seals or wet lubricants get chewed up instantly. So instead of relying on a single rubber ring, rotary joints use dynamic labyrinth seals. Labyrinth is an ancient word for a maze. These are complex interlocking zigzag metal channels. For a particle of dust to reach the internal bearing, it would have to navigate through several 90-degree turns. Because the fit is so tight, dust gets trapped in the outer mazes long before reaching the sensitive gears inside. Wow. That is wild. They have to use dry solid lubricants. Traditional grease or oil turns into a sticky sludge when mixed with a brace of dust, and it would boil off in the vacuum of space. Instead of space, bearings are coated with solid lubricants. These are microscopic, ultra-slick coatings applied directly to the metal parts, meaning there's no wet residue for sticky dust to cling to. Diamond-like carbon, DLC, or molybdenum disulfide. Guys, what I'm saying is, what's going on here is there is a market to build these vehicles that go in microgravity, that go on these other planets. There's a market for this type of engineering, and it's wide open right now, guys. The opportunity for this type of engineering is great. It's great. So go start yourself a company, guys. We got electrostatic dust shields. Since solar radiation gives moon dust a positive static charge, engineers are now embedding tiny electrodes into the outer surfaces around joints. By running an alternating high voltage current during these thin wires, they create a moving electric field that literally levitates and pushes dust particles away from vulnerable seams before they can settle. So I know I was doing a little reading about Titan, which is Saturn's largest moon, which there's a lot of triboelectric charging on there too. And the same as the moon, there's triboelectric charging. And I was doing a little reading about Titan, like wanting to know if a being, some sort of living being, like an alien, lived on Titan, what are the things that they would have to be built of and that Earth doesn't have to, human beings don't have to deal with on Earth. And one of them is they would need to like figure out this electric charge thing. So it's the triboelectric charging, the same natural process that makes your hair stand up when you rub a balloon on your head or pull off a fleece jacket. On Titan, the wind rolls organic sand grains across each other, building up massive static charges that make the sand stick together in giant clumpy dunes and cling to anything that touches it. It's like bizarro world up there. So the electric dust shield, that's EDS, guys. It takes the exact same physical behavior and turns it into a defense system. And it's really cool the way it works because with the alternate charging, so particles gain a net electric charge, just like charged hair repels other hairs, but sticks to a sweater. Statically, I can get it. I'm sorry, I'll get that word. We're good. Statically charged dust aggressively clings to rover wheels, suit fabrics, and camera lenses. So engineers exploit the fact that like charges repel. Since the dust on the lunar surface is already charged by solar radiation and friction, the shield runs high voltage, alternating electric currents through tiny embedded wires. This continuously generates a moving, alternating electric field across the surface. As soon as a charged dust grain comes near the shield, the field creates an opposing electrostatic force that literally levitates the grain and flicks it off the surface like an invisible continuous electrostatic broom. So while static electricity is usually the enemy that makes dust stick like crazy, engineers use that exact same electrical force to push it right back off. That is wild. That is freaking wild. I mean, yeah, engineering is really cool, guys. If you thought you want to go to college for that, good God, go to college for that because it's really freaking cool. Holy smokes. We're talking about electricity. Electromagnetic fields, a alternating electric current making the electricity, making the electrostatic force levitating the grain and flicking it off the surface. That is amazing. Holy smokes. And that would be happening in real time up there. That's what needs to happen. So that's called electrostatic dust shield. That's EDS, guys. Remember, EDS. And I'm not talking about the EDS that maybe you know of. The EDS that maybe you heard of. That's the erectile dysfunction syndrome. That's not what we're talking about. Now, maybe you can, maybe erectile dysfunction syndrome will propel. Maybe it does cause an alternate current up on the moon, and maybe it will propel the grains and the regolith. So, maybe, and that'd be a great thing. Then everybody be looking to have EDS because then it's very profitable. You know what I'm saying? But in this case, we're talking about an electrostatic dust shield that creates, it runs a high voltage alternating electric current through tiny embedded wires, which continuously generates a moving alternating electric field across the surface. And then as soon as a charged dust grain comes near the shield, the field creates an opposing electrostatic force that levitates the grain and flicks it off the surface. And that's what EDS, electrostatic dust shield, does. And maybe erectile dysfunction does that too. But we don't know. We got to find out. You know, we got to send a guy up there with EDS. You have 2 EDSs, electrostatic dust shield, and then the other EDS. So we'll figure it out. And I know you like that joke. You came here for my cheesy jokes. And that might be... Maybe you didn't like that joke. Maybe that was a total bomb. But you know, it's all right. We're working with it, and I think I'm gonna win the comedy contest. Let's get on. You know what? Let's just get some more. Let's get some more music on here. There we go. Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. Let's drink some more coffee. It just makes me want to do like a bop up. I think it's almost done. We're getting a beignet. Boom, boom. Oh, fun. That was so fun. We listened to the whole song, guys. That was so much fun. Okay, moving on. Moving on. So what's interesting about, we're talking about, remember guys, the Astrolab is sending the rover to the moon for the astronauts to take a stroll around in it, do a little forklifting, lift some things up. There's things underneath of it so it can carry some things like a cargo space. And the astronauts can take a look at the ice, the water ice, and take a look-see at some other things. You know, and here's the thing, the static up there, the triboelectric charging is such a big problem. And we did go to the moon before, and we've had people walk around on there. We even had some people stay up there for a few days in the 70s. We don't do it because it's easy. We do it because it's hard. And that is John F. Kennedy about going to the moon. We don't go to the moon because it's easy. We do it because it's hard. We don't do we do the other thing. We don't do this thing, we do the other thing, something like that. Anyway, so ask not what you can do for your country, but ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. That's another saying. I'm not getting the accent right. He was Boston. Ask not. I'm not gonna try that. I can't do a Boston accent. All right. So what I'm talking about here is Apollo 17 specifically. That's Gene Cernan. His spacesuit joints started seizing up after just a few hours because of lunar dust. It worked its way into the wrist and ankle weaves. Modern rovers are built almost entirely as sealed hermetic units to prevent that exact mechanical lockup. But there were other Apollo missions before that on the moon. And I was like, why was it such a problem in Apollo 17? And so Apollo 17 took place in December 1972. It was NASA's final crewed mission to the moon. NASA landed 6 separate missions on the moon between 1969 and 1972. A total of 12 different men have walked on the lunar surface. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Did you know that? And I don't think that's common knowledge. I thought only Aldrin and what's his face walked on the moon over there. Bruce. No, it's not Bruce. Anyway, I'm going for my mouse again. I went to go for my mouse again. Okay. Bear with me. Okay, so yeah, I thought only Buzz went over there on the moon, and Butch or Bruce or Neil Armstrong rather, Neil Armstrong. But no, so they were not the only 2 people to walk on the moon. We have astronauts Gene Cernan and Harrison Jack Schmitt. They spent 3 days exploring the lunar surface. That's a lot of time up there. Schmitt was a trained geologist. He was the first professional scientist sent to the moon. So that's pretty amazing. There were, let's see, on Apollo 11, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin spent just 2.5 hours outside on the lunar surface. Microscopic, if you want to say it, dust needs time to grind its way past flexible seals and into rotating metal joints. By Apollo 17, astronauts Gene and Jack spent over 22 hours outside across 3 full days. The suits were exposed to continuous grinding grit almost 10 times longer than Apollo 11, allowing dust to build up and jam suit wrists and shoulder bearings. The first 3 missions, Apollo 11, 12, and 14, were entirely on foot. Astronauts kicked up small bits of dust as they walked, but they weren't moving fast. Starting with Apollo 15, NASA sent the Electric Lunar Roving Vehicle. That's an LRV. That's still up there, driving across the terrain at 8 to 10 miles per hour. It kicked up continuous rooster tails of abrasive dust behind the wheels. And also what happened on Apollo 17, the biggest reason Apollo 17 had a total dust crisis was an accident early in the mission. While walking past the rover, Gene is not the geologist. Jack is the geologist. Gene, his rock hammer, so he's walking around with a hammer, he accidentally snagged the right rear fender, snapping off the extension. Come on, Gene. Come on. You know, you're up there, you're going up to the moon as a geologist. You're like, this is great. I'm a geologist. I know I'm very valuable to this mission because I'm a geologist. And then you go up there and your colleague freaking just snags off the fender of the thing that's getting you around on the rover. Your colleague just goes crazy on the rover, on the vehicle that you are relying on. And now you, a geologist, you have to become an engineer now to get yourself out of there, to get your arse back home to the base. Good God. I bet you Jack didn't know he'd be becoming an engineer that day, but he was about to learn today. He learned that day because of Gene. Gene going a little wild Gene. It's not Gene Wilder, but Gene was wild. That's what I'm saying. Gene went a little rogue. Gene was having a bad day. He was holding a rock hammer and not paying attention. And the geologist is like, pay attention to your rock hammer, dude. And Gene's like, well, I'm tired and I'm hungry and I'm just taking these protein pills and that's not satiating me right. And then Gene took the fender off the rover. And now Jack needs to be an engineer, get that thing back up to snuff. So that's what happened. Because there's no atmosphere or wind on the moon to slow dust down, the spinning open wheel threw a nonstop rain of razor-sharp regolith directly over the top of the rover. It showered the astronauts' suits, joints, radiator panels, and instrument displays in grit. The dust was so destructive that the mission control had to pause the moonwalk so Gene and Jack could fashion a temporary fender out of 4 laminated cardboard lunar maps, duct tape, and clamps. And they didn't have AI. How long did that signal take to get down to Earth to talk to ground control? A little while. They didn't have, so they're like, oh, let's look at these cardboard maps and let's try to, and then ground control is telling them what to do, but it takes an hour, 2 hours, maybe a whole day for one sentence to get to them from ground control. And that's probably not right, but it might have felt that way. So they had to think it up. They had to figure it out. And that's what I'm doing with comedy, man. That's what I'm doing with this podcast and with the improv and with the stand-up. That's what we're doing. That's what you're doing too in life. You're just trying, you're just figuring it out. You have what you got. What do we got, guys? What tools do we have to figure life out? We have some cardboard maps. We have some duct tape. What else we got here? We have some clamps. Yeah, we got some clamps. And we're going to clamp down. That's what we're going to do. We're going to tie some shite up. We're going to clamp some shite down. I got my cutlass and my derringer. We're strapped. Jack Schmidt, the geologist, So the makeshift map fender saved the mission, but by that time, enough dust had already worked its way into their suit joints and zippers to cause severe stiffness and physical exhaustion. Seriously, Gene. Thanks a lot, Gene. Thanks a lot. Was it both their suits? Let me see. Gene. Whose suit was it? Bear with me. I thought I had that notated whose suit it was. Yes, it was Gene's suit. Okay. So it wasn't Jack's suit, at least. At least, Gene's the one who hammered off he took the front fender off the Rover. And so he's the one that dealt with the dust. His suit joints started seizing up after just a few hours because lunar dust worked its way into the wrist and ankle weaves. And he said it took a lot of physical exertion just to move his arm up and down. So we stopped going up to the moon because after 1972, once the U.S. beat the Soviet Union to the moon and proved it could be done safely, public interest waned. The Vietnam War was draining federal budgets, and NASA's funding was cut sharply, forcing them to cancel Apollo 18, 19, and 20. So they had other missions scheduled. Sometimes you got things scheduled, and sometimes, you got to pivot. And that's what we're doing, guys. We're pivoting. We're pivoting in life. So I think on that note, I'm going to end this podcast, guys. Stay cool. Drink some of your water, some of your electrolytes. I'm going to go ahead and I will put the link to the electrolytes I drink. It's a LMNT. And it doesn't have any of the sugar shenanigans in it. Just a lot of sodium and magnesium and potassium. And that's what you got. Sometimes when you dizzy, you drink some of that and bring you back. It will zink bang bok bok, boom you back. It will boink you back. Boink you back to reality. Boink you back into focus. That's what I'm saying. That's what that LMNT does. That's what it does. So I'm going to thank the sun for continuing its orbit around Earth. And thank you guys for listening. Have a fantastic rest of your week. I will see you next week.